Today is day 2 of box truck. Look at some possible leak points. Here's what we've accomplished so far. Box truck has been emptied. We're going to address the hole here, this hole, and we're going to head to the hardware store to pick up Flex Seal and get in the bottom of the bus and get out some Eternabond tape to get into the quarters. All right, we've come up with a game plan for the flooring, the holes in the wall, and the framing of the back door area, back door and back window. So we will let Andy, SWK Life, right, on YouTube. So we're gonna talk about the holes first in the floors, and we'll let him discuss it since he is Mr. Contractor.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna support for the holes in the floor. We're not so much worried with it only being 2 inches on this side and then it goes to a 3-inch section. We're not so much worried about structural as if this whole section was rotted. So we're gonna support it from the bottom.
Supporting it from the bottom with
Either that metal, Jonathan's gonna do a great job cutting that for me. Then we'll put the metal piece underneath it. We're gonna foam it with a high density foam, and then our insulation board will go over the top of that. And then we'll have another layer of flooring. These 2 areas, the other area over there, we're gonna do the same exact thing with. It's just a smaller area. Plan is to still have the bed up here right now, or what is going on over here? Because we're not going to have floor, we're going to have a platform right here.
So the floor plan has changed about 5 times, and I'm going to be doing additional changes to it. So how the plan started originally was to have the platform bed here, and the shower next to it. But remember, I removed that so we could have the shower and everything up front, and then have the computer desk or my office space. And then remember, we had the queen bed, what's that thing called? Murphy out onto the couch. Remember, we were going to do that. So that was it. So we still don't know, but we know that, or think that that option for the floor is probably the easiest and wisest, because if we ripped out that whole board, we'd have to replace the whole board all as one. And that's not going to be a structural area that needs supported, any of the holes. Ultimately, they're just going to be fillers and repaired, and then the leaks found and fixed. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do on the back framing once the garage door is removed.
So garage door gets removed, track gets removed. Our framing will actually go where the track is and be on the inside of this, rather than framing flush with the metal. That way we can kind of use this metal liftgate as a trim piece. In theory, it's a trim piece around there, but it will provide us to get a good seal right here. We'll come up here, remove the garage. When we remove the garage door and the track, that spring above it will get out of there, and so we'll do the same thing, so where we can seal right between this metal and the wood. We're gonna put a door and window through here. Door, window. Are you wanting like a double door, or?
It depends on what layout we go with.
Mr. Dark doesn't want any windows in his box truck.
Correct. Well, the reason I don't want a ton of windows, I don't want any open holes in the roof, and I don't want a ton of windows on the side, because 1, I want it to be stealthy, and 2, it's easier to heat and cool, is why I want a whole lot less windows. So there'll be one area with the window, and ironically, it already has a big open area for that to be placed.
Did you see that hole up there?
Yeah, that's the rivet hole.
That's the rivet. You did tell me about that. It caught my eye.
Yeah, that's another rivet hole. Last week after demo, I actually closed this garage door and went around.
Oh, when it got it dark in here,
Yeah,
and just
so I could see where
that's
holes
smart.
were. I'm smart sometimes. Sometimes. Well, it sounds like we need to go to the
hardware store and spend some of your money.
Oh, fun. That's great. With that said, like, subscribe, and join the members page. All right, let's go to the hardware store. Hello, roamers. Today is day 2 of weekend build for box truck. No name box truck. Mother Nature has decided to grace us with her presence today, or this morning, and it's a little chilly, but we got some rain today. Which is much needed. We have definitely needed it pretty darn bad, so I'm glad it hit. So today we are going to finish up yesterday's activities. God, I need to work on this. There we go. We're gonna finish up yesterday's activities. So that included working on flooring, grinding and priming where rust was present. You can kind of see it here. I mean, that's not rust, but it kind of eating it up a little bit. But this is galvanized, and this is aluminum. I'm knocking off this rust that was created from the steel screws, tapping screws they had in there. Knocking that off, priming it up, and letting it dry. Whew, it's chilly in the bus this morning. I mean, in the box this morning. Since we got rain, I can actually look right now to see if I hear or see any water, which I do see water on the floor, I believe right now. Yep, there's water there. We foamed up the areas of concern. I will hack these down, but we got water running down the wall here. So, ta-da, we found a spot you can see outside. Perfect. I mean, not perfect that it's there, but perfect that it happened. So now I can see where else there's water. So let's just take a gander around the box. A little water there, but that's expected. There's a hole there. No more water there. Ah, water here. Notice we have water here. But when I flip it straight up, I don't see any water on the walls or ceiling. And since water only travels down due to gravity, we will have to figure out where that is coming from, which is not going to be an issue. Not too worried. Back to what I was talking about. I have everything in my front kangaroo pocket, so it's weighting everything down. Let me put everything down. All right. Much better. All right. So we had foamed up the corners like I'd talked about. There's one. Well, there's more water. Where is that coming from? Oh, this came from the door. Duh. Came from the door when I opened it up. You can't, oh yeah, right there. There's a door. Came from the door when I opened it up. We foamed up this corner here and primed the other corner here, primed here, and foamed up this corner here. I'm gonna check for leaks on the front. I don't see any leaks from here. Is there any wet? Oh yeah, there's, yeah, oh yeah, it's right there. Ding, 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 ding. So I had read You know, an option I was gonna do for those is, or the option that I'd talked about, I believe last week's video, was on these holes here. These holes here, sorry about that. These holes here, I'm going to put tape on the back and put JB Weld in it. Well, these won't flex as much. I mean, they'll flex some, but not as much as one of the corner pieces, because you have multiple pieces coming together. Like this is a piece, this is a piece, this is a piece coming together. So I can't use, I mean, I can use JB Weld there, but it's not gonna be flexible. Once you put JB Weld in, it tries to make it a hard surface and those areas flex. So I'm gonna do 3 different items, three different items to seal those up. First thing I'm gonna use is Eternabond tape, which you will find right here. The second thing I'm going to do is liquid nails. I can't remember which one, but I have the caulking tube somewhere. Oh, it's right, and it's in this bag. It will be flexible. It's also paintable. I don't think it'll focus, but that will be the second layer, because the flexible part will be the Eternabond. And once you put Eternabond on, Eternabond's some amazing stuff. So Eternabond will take place, and then we'll do sealing with the caulking on the exterior. And then the last thing will be foam, insulation foam. So then you'll have 3 different barriers. And I think that should be plenty. Plan on also foaming, like I talked about last week, these ribs here, which are on the ceiling, because we will have insulation here, but we need insulation in here as well, because I don't want insulation, no insulation, insulation, etc. And these I'd mentioned last week were ribs. I was wrong, they actually have a backing in here. So we will have foam board here, going from here to here. And then what we'll do is I'll drill a hole in the top once the foam board's in place, foam insulation down, and it'll just peek out. What I'll do is, foil tape next to the foam board, and then let that foam expand all the way down to the bottom. That is the game plan on insulation. So without further ado, I guess I should probably get to work, because it's not gonna do it itself, right? right, so we're gonna drill larger holes in the ribs up top. We're gonna drill 3, maybe 4, I hadn't decided yet. And we're gonna spray insulation foam in them, let them expand out in each one of the ribs. So I sprayed it initially in here, and you'll see here it's already coming out of those 2 holes, and it's slowly working its way to those 2 holes. This is where I injected out. You can tell it's coming out of these holes. Injected here, had a problem with the nozzle. You can see it's kind of coming through here. I started here, and I can see it in the hole, but it hasn't permeated yet. So that's what I'll do on the rest of the ribs. Don't need to see all that on camera, I don't think, but that's what I plan on doing on all the ribs on the roof. I have found, that's a darn strap. I have found those couple of leaks that I will be fixing next week. And if you have any questions about anything on the build, feel free to ask. Remember, this is for my build. I don't suggest or recommend doing it for your build. It's just something to gather ideas and thoughts and processes along the way. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment. I read all of them. I try to answer all of them as well. And remember, we're here for a good time, not a long time. Soak it all up, because we never know what tomorrow will bring. I'll see you in the next one.